You know, it was funny. I was watching the video from about a year ago. There, now we got the palm tree where it needs to be. Maybe it was September. I don't think I remember myself. Right? And I said, "Hey everybody, how are you doing?" Like, you think you could come up with something else to say other than that? Hey everybody. Now, what I can't stand, and I don't think there's too many people that do it anymore, is people that make YouTube videos say, "Hey YouTubers," or "Hey YouTube." You know, it just seems to, I don't know, something about it irritates me. Hey YouTube, how you doing? YouTubers out there? You know, how about just saying, "Hey happy people, what is going on today? Let us share some joy in our hearts this day." And maybe get the palm tree where it needs to be, right there. And the light. Can you see it in the glasses? Try to keep my head down so you don't see the reflection of the light. Definitely does better for having a little light on your face. Except I may have a shadow on this side. Hey YouTubers, what's up? I think it's Robert Arrington, Dear Meat for Dinner, where he says, "Hey happy people." And at the end, him and his wife or his kids will put their hand up on the camera and he'll say, "We gone. We gone." So how come this isn't? No, it is face tracking. I just can't see it. We gone. I guess his wife does the editing. I'm sure she has a lot of fun doing it. To just have the raw material and to go in and make cuts here and there. And interesting thing is the audio always seems so good. And on Marcus Picks, he does his audio on a portable recorder. And then when you move the audio file with the video, there's a setting where you can sync both of them. See, I do have one of those mini recorders, stereo too, I think a Sony, that I got for police work. It's real thin, fits in my pocket. I think it takes a AA battery or AAA battery. And that's the one that I used to record church, because I would be in that back vestibule area at St. Joe's, and the speaker would literally be right over the top of my head. So I usually got pretty good audio from Monsignor Caulfield. Big John, right? Happy memories. May he rest in peace. What's the other saying? Eternal rest grant unto him, O Lord, and may perpetual light shine down upon him. There's some pretty clouds. Maybe one of these days I'll be out here recording when a bright light will flash. The video will disappear, or the video will flash, and in the very next second I won't be here. You know, it'll just be showing the trees behind me with nothing, and it'll run until the battery runs out. And there'll be this mystery about what happened. We seen the flash. Do you think it's some sort of scam, or it's some sort of edit or something? No, we found the camera where it was standing. There was no edits to it. You know, there was a flash and he disappeared. And but where is he? We don't know. Where could he have gone? Do UFOs show up during the day? Can I say, "Look, there's a tic-tac. There's a floating tic-tac above me. Oh my gosh." My dad or my mom would show their face in the window and wave at me, and then I'll know that it's okay, that it's something good. As long as it's in heaven, right? Of course, there's the old saying that they believe UFOs are manifestations of evil and that they are demonic, because nobody's ever had a positive alien abduction. They're always negative. They're always needles and fire in the sky type stuff. You guys remember Fire in the Sky? It wasn't until later in life that I saw that clip where he's in the alien ship and they put this like sheet on top of him, and then it like suctions him down to the table. And then the worst thing in the world that could happen is they bring that machine down. Of course, the aliens are terrible looking, and their suits that they wear are actually the ones with the bulbous head and the big eyes. But that's a suit they put on. But really, the aliens are so nasty and ugly. That makes sense. Wouldn't that be a demon? The demons don't want to show us themselves. And the devil doesn't want to show himself to us because he's so hideous. It would scare us right into the arms of Jesus Christ. So the devil is always masking his true looks. That's why he often appears as a handsome man or a pretty woman. And deep inside, whoever it is full of the most vicious evil. But that's the devil's ways. Yeah, manifestations of evil, UFOs. I jumped aboard their starship and headed for the skies. No, it goes, I thought they were angels, but to my surprise, they took me aboard their starship and headed toward the skies. And they said, come sail away with me. Is that Styx? I think that's the group Styx. You know, I almost want to say it's Queen, but it's not. It's Styx. I thought that they were angels, but to my surprise, they took me aboard their starship and headed toward the skies. And then, of course, the next scene would be the scene from Fire in the Sky. And then they stuck a needle in my ear, into my brain, and they unclothed me down near my genitals, and they did this and did that to me, blah, blah, blah. No thank you. I saw one of the, kind of like Cracker Barrel. I heard Cracker Barrel's going out of business in a bunch of states. I know that ours are still pretty popular down here. It's kind of like the Olive Garden. It's been around for 30 years, right? So has Chili's. The night before Jenny was surgically removed from her mother's womb, your mother and I ate at Chili's, and I got an old timer with cheese, and I think your mom did too. She only ate half of hers. Of course, she was pregnant like out to here. 8.5 months, 9 months. I think she was overdue, or just about right at the due date. But yeah, so that means it's 30 years. Chili's been around for at least 30 years. And I think that it started just a year or two before Jenny was born, so 30 years. I'm not giving away anybody's age, am I? Hope not. I still on the square, still got the facial square, yeah. How did I get talking about demonic manifestations of evil through what we think are UFOs to talking about Chili's? You know, Olive Garden's been around just as long, 30 years, and it keeps surviving. The Taste of Italy, Josh, right? Taste of Italy. That's the your choice of 2 red things, I think. The lasagna, chicken parmesan, and chicken and fettuccine noodles, and garlic sticks with a side dish of Parmesan sauce. You know how to make that, right? It's like heavy cream full of like Parmesan cheese, you know, the sprinkled cheese. And it's definitely not good for you, but definitely is good. Why is it that the things that are good are not good for you? Like ice cream. Yeah, I've had my cup of yogurt this morning, and I'll have my cup of yogurt tonight. And then I'll get 80% of my, or 40% of my daily allowance of calcium. And now we're jumping on to another subject. I took 2 B12 gummies, tried to let them dissolve in my throat, my mouth, and it did pick me up. It did give me a lift. So that's how you know if you're low in B12. If you take the gummies and you feel better, then it means that you were low on them. I want to say that one of the drugs that I take, I'm not sure if it's the rosuvastatin or the esomeprazole, one of them is known to cause B12 deficiencies. So it's interesting that I had a craving for those B12 gummies. Because my body kind of self-regulates itself. I can just say self-regulates. Self-regulates self? No, it self-regulates. I wonder if I think on YouTube it'll actually give you a, what do you call it, a script of the audio. What do they call it? Where they take the text out of your voice and they list it on the side. You have to click on it. Isn't that interesting? Nothing else going on here. I can see that it hasn't rained in so long. The grass is like brown. The weeds are browning out back here. But I am keeping up with my flowers. And one of these days I'm going to show you some, take you on a tour, show you my flowers. The marigolds are like doing real good. And I do believe that marigolds have a natural defense against pests like insects, and it's kind of like marijuana. It has a very pungent, acidic smell to it. And I'm assuming that marijuana is the same way, or cannabis sativa. But I've had a problem with the mammoth sunflowers. I do believe that there's some sort of, I don't think it's a worm, I think it's a grasshopper of some sort. And it's only on one plant. You know, they're all in line 5 feet away from each other, and this grasshopper is just chewing on this one plant. So the other day at Little China I got a shaker bottle of 7, which is the tomato powder. And that reminds me, I've got to get out and get a tomato plant. I think it's, I could probably do the tomato seeds, but when it gets really hot in the summertime, it's not good to have tomatoes out. Because I think that superheat, when it's in the 95s and close to 100, I don't think the plants like that. So we should have marigolds here before too long. And it was a marigold that I planted when I was in the 3rd or 4th grade, because I recognized the plant. And I was so proud of that plant, because it came up and it put forth just one flower up through the middle. And I was so proud of myself. And ever since then I've been hooked. So I'm hoping that if they pass this marijuana law, that they'll allow homeowners or users to be able to plant up to 3 plants in their residence. And I wouldn't use it, but I would just like to experiment with growing something like that from a seed. Of course, when I was working, I threw so many plants, so much marijuana with seeds away, that there's probably plants growing all over the city. And it wasn't just me, it was all these other people too were doing that. They would find it on somebody and just crush it into the ground. Then most of the time they'll take out the seeds and the stems. I think the seeds pop if they're in like a joint or something. and they'll usually be on the floorboard of the car or the truck, like down on the floors. That's possession of marijuana if I find seeds down there. And I can't tell you how many times, let's just say you let somebody in your car and they pull out a joint and they start smoking it. Well, there's a good chance one of those stems or seeds is going to fall out if there's one in there, and it's going to fall on your floor. And then you get stopped in Georgia by a state trooper and they find that in there, even if it's just one seed, and they take you to jail. Personally, I never did that, but it gave me wiggle room. It gave me the upper hand, gave me probable cause to search the car, because I found marijuana, even though it was a seed or a stem or something. It's just the way the business works, right? Stephanie went to Daytona to the beach. She's got to be back and go to work at 8 o'clock tonight, in case anybody's wondering. Not that anybody's listening or anybody's watching this. I'm going to just throw this out there and guess that sometime in the distant future somebody will be watching this. And I'm not riding my bike anymore, because I could say, well, I could get hit by a car tomorrow and in an instant be gone. But that's true for all of us, you guys. I I'm reading a book, Why Bad Things Happen to Good People, 1981, I believe, or 86. A guy named Harold Kushner. He was a Jewish rabbi, probably related to the Kushner that we were thinking of, but it was way before his time. I think it was before he was born. And it turns out his son is diagnosed with progeria. That's the disease where you look like an old man when you're only 8 years old, and rarely do you live past your teenage years. You die of old age while you're still a teenager, and you have the appearance of an old man. So he's talking about how when his son was diagnosed, his baby sister was born. And he's questioning about why God would allow that to happen. Was it for some sinful thing that he had done? He kind of considered himself better than average as far as being religious and upright and virtuous. But interesting book. And the sequel to that is In Search of Something. I got both of those books. It was only like $15 for both of them. So I'm starting to read that. And it was like on the #1 bestseller list of the New York Times or whatever, the publisher's list back in the 80s. And of course I was too busy in dealing with things of the world. As I understand, when I look back now on where I was when I was your age, then I absolutely, totally understand why things are like they are. My brother Joe used to say that why was our family so dysfunctional? We should have these family get-togethers like 3 times a year or something, where we meet at a cabin and we have barbecues and things. And I'm like, well, Joe, it's easy for you to see because you don't have a family. But every one of us that has their own family unit has their own family, period. And that is the focus of their life. They're not focused on their brothers and sisters and having these get-togethers. If money was no object and we were millionaires, more than likely we would make it a point to do something like that. And meet in like Vail, Colorado for a skiing trip in the wintertime, or go to Australia when it's wintertime here and springtime there. A lot of it has to do with money, but still the bottom line is I told Joey that they're all involved with their own families. Sounds like a person, doesn't it? Maybe it's one of those Quakers. The bird, not the person. Yes, Uncle Joey saw it from his perspective and didn't understand because he had never experienced that family unit. You know, the parents, the children, in-laws, and things like that. But I do remember you guys. I remember being your age and being focused on career and family. You know, making it to work every day, day in, day out, weeks and months and years. And you do the best you can, and you of course provide for your family. Well, thank the good Lord, none of you have serious health problems, at least that I'm aware of, which a lot of people are plagued with, and create diversions from the normal path that you would be on. You know, it definitely throws a twist on things. And in life and after I'm gone, I'm going to intercede for you. I'm going to pray. You know, if you ask if there's anything you can do, you can always pray. Anybody ever asks you that? Child, is there anything I can do for you? Yes, please pray. Please pray for my family. Pray for me. You know, I really wish my sister would have at least said something like that. You know, I'm very sick. Please pray for me. And never stop. Or to just send you a text to say, I love you. And pray for me. But no, it was not meant to be. And the only thing that I can attribute that to is probably a mental health status, right? Because I think Kelly kind of put that up in a nutshell, which I won't repeat. From what I understand, for you who may be watching. So stay true to who you are. Take care of your family. If you get a sibling who's always saying you're from a dysfunctional family, that's just from their perspective. But there is no perfect family, you guys. It just does not exist. You do the best you can. That's all you can say. And a lot of times the best is not good enough, but still you strive and you try. You put forth your best. You know, it's said that God doesn't demand that we be successful, just that we try hard, have faith, and do things with great love. Bottom line, right? I love you guys now, in time, and in eternity. And God loves you now, yesterday, and forever. He was, is, and always will be the greatest person in your life. And when you're gone, will be the focus of your attention in heaven. So we'll see you tomorrow. May God allow us to be reasonably happy in this life, and supremely happy forever in the next. It's my 5 minutes of preaching, right? I love you guys. When I'm sitting here looking at this camera, I'm thinking of you through the myriad of wires and computer systems and wireless phone connections. I'm thinking of you, and that's the main thing. Make sure that you're in somebody's thoughts, that you're thoughtful and pray for somebody. It's May. It's the month of Mary. I love you guys. Say the rosary if you get a chance. It's on my religious channel, in case you want to listen to it on your way to work or something. Bye, you guys.